Hi, everyone. Mr. Townsend
Miss Treble.
and we are coming at you live from Istanbul, Turkey. In fact, Ms. Treva, what are we looking at right behind us here?
This is the Hagia Sophia in Istanbul, Turkey. Like Mr. Townsend just said, it's super close to the Blue Mosque that we learned about in our religious unit. So super cool, old cathedral, ordered to be built by Justinian.
Absolutely. Speaking of Justinian, let's get into our reading about Justinian and Theodora. Here we go. All right, Justinian and Theodora. There's a popular saying that two heads are better than one. This was certainly true of Justinian's reign. Justinian became Byzantium's greatest emperor, thanks in part to the support and intelligence of his wife, Theodora. Ms. Treva, what's today's main idea?
Today's main idea is Justinian and Theodora ruled over the golden age for Byzantium.
Nice. And when we hear that phrase golden age, it means the best time ever. That's what historians mean when we say that. How about I read the first section, you read the second section?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. All right, a powerful ruler. Justinian was born in CE 482 or 483 to a peasant farmer. It was a humble beginning, but Justinian's uncle rose to become a great general and then emperor. The uncle educated Justinian, gave him important jobs, and appointed him as his successor. It was a smart choice. Justinian was intelligent, talented, and ambitious. He modeled himself on the old Roman Caesars. After he became emperor in 527, Justinian worked to bring a golden age to Byzantium. In many ways, Justinian proved to be a powerful and effective leader. As you've read, he greatly expanded the empire's borders. Within those borders, he made major improvements in the areas of government, construction, and law. He reformed Byzantine government to improve efficiency and get rid of corruption. Justinian also started an ambitious construction program. He ordered the building of the Hagia Sophia, often pronounced the Hagia Sophia, a church in Constantinople that today is considered a masterpiece of Byzantine architecture. I know I've been there. I know a few of you reading along have been there. You probably agree with me. It is amazing. Everybody should visit it once in their life. He also sponsored many other civic projects in the city, including a magnificent new building for the Senate. Justinian was a dedicated Christian actively involved in issues of faith. He punished those he found guilty of heresy, beliefs contrary to church teachings, including Jews. For example, he prohibited Jews from building synagogues and reading the Bible in Hebrew. Today, we wouldn't exactly call those good qualities. Justinian also worked hard to settle the differences of opinion that divided the early church. For example, groups within the church had different beliefs about whether Jesus Christ was fully divine, having the nature of a God, and should be worshipped as an equal to God. This disagreement continued long after Justinian's death and still continues today within the larger Christian community. Reading on, Justinian's reform of the law was far more successful. He reorganized and standardized confusing Roman laws, having the surviving laws written down clearly and logically in a single work called the Justinian Code. This remarkable work has formed the basis of European law until modern times. Ms. Treble?
Yes, thank you. So, a courageous empress. Of all of Justinian's advisors, the most influential was his wife, Theodora. An actress when she was young, Theodora was part of a lower social class, so Justinian had to change the law to marry her. Together, they formed an unstoppable team who shared power as nearly equal co-rulers. Theodora was extremely bright and energetic. Justinian admired her intelligence and deeply respected her opinions. As a result, she had a huge influence on imperial policy. Theodora was probably behind the laws passed to protect women, children, and some Christian minority groups. Theodora even saved Justinian's crown. In 532, some of Justinian's opponents turned a riot between rival sports fans into a widespread rebellion against his policies. As Justinian prepared to flee the city, Theodora refused to leave. Her courageous determination to stay and fight the rebels inspired Justinian. He ordered the army to crush the rebellion, which led to the deaths of 30,000 protesters. Order was restored along with the emperor's authority. Following these events, Justinian decided to rule more carefully in the future.
Thanks for reading that. So, Ms. Treble, I have a question for you. There's a very famous phrase. It says, behind every great man, there's a great woman. How do you think that applies to Justinian?
Well, I absolutely agree with that. It seems as if Justinian would have left if he didn't have his wife to tell him kind of to maybe humble him and give him good advice, like an outsider's opinion. So if it wasn't for her, I really don't know what the Roman Empire would have looked like.
Right. And I think history teaches us that she was actually really strong.
Absolutely.
And probably than rather being nice and talking him into it, she probably knocked him around a little bit.
I think, yeah, well, it sounded like he needed it because he was going to leave his people.
Right.
So I think that's, I'm proud of her for that.
Absolutely. And in fact, the reason he was leaving was because of these things called the Nika riots, which you're about to learn about next. Thanks for reading along with us. See you later. Bye.
I waved in the wrong direction.
Yeah. Never going to get that straight.
No. That was fine, right?
Yep, that was a good one.
Okay.
Oh, is it still recording?
You can cut it, though.
Can we?
Yeah.